Welcome back into Hoosier Sports Night. I'm now joined by former Indiana University wide receiver Brandon Walker-Roby. Now, the Hoosiers won their first road game of the year this past weekend at Akron. And Brandon, it was the first road victory for the Hoosiers in nearly 2 years. But this weekend, it's going to be tough, going to Michigan, a place that you were on the team the last time the Hoosiers played there. Tell me a little bit about what it's like playing at the Big House.
Well, Ronan, Michigan, it's an exciting atmosphere to be in. And, you know, the Hoosiers, they're going to go into this game 3-0, excited. Michigan's going to be 3-0. They're going to be excited to bring the Hoosiers in. It's the first start of the Big Ten play. And really, high school players, they come out of college really wanting to play in the Big Ten. This is the excitement of coming into the Big Ten to play in places like Michigan, Ohio State, Iowa, and Michigan State. But what Coach Lynch really needs to emphasize to the players this week is that, hey, it's just another game. It's 11-on-11 between the lines. These guys put their pants on the same way we do. And, I mean, it's really something you want to embrace the feeling. You want to embrace the atmosphere of 110,000 fans yelling at you, throwing stuff at you, whatever it may be, but you really don't want to get intimidated by the fact that this is just Michigan.
And you mentioned Michigan, obviously. They're broken to the top 25. They're notorious for winning at home. Appalachian State might say other things about it, but Michigan wins football games at home. Is it because there's 110,000 people that makes it difficult to play there?
Really, Ronan, I think it's just players coming in being intimidated by the fact that it is Michigan. It is 110,000 fans, like I said, screaming at you. And if you just come into the game realizing that, hey, this is just another team, like I said, they put their pants on the same way we do, and we're just going to play these guys like we play, everything will be fine. Like I said, embrace the atmosphere, embrace the moment, because this is why you play Big Ten football. But don't look at Michigan and be like, oh, man, they're Michigan. Just play the game.
Now, Bill Lynch has been pumping in crowd noise to practice over the last 2 weeks in an effort to let the offense especially get ready to playing calls when maybe you can't hear each other. Does that help you get ready to play in a place like that whenever you're going through practice, hearing loud sounds and loud music to try to get a feel for what the atmosphere is like there? Oh,
yeah. What Coach Lynch is doing definitely helps the team. It's really going to help the team focus. It definitely helped at Akron. If you notice, they didn't have as many pre-snap penalties that they had in the game before against Western Michigan. So I definitely believe playing the crowd noise and the music during practice really helps the team focus on the game and not the crowd.
Now, when you're playing wide receiver and you're trying to communicate with your quarterback in a place that's loud, how do you do it? I mean, how do you talk to a guy like Ben Chappell whenever there's 110,000 people screaming around you?
As far as being a wide receiver, the coach always says, wide receivers should never jump off sides. All you have to do is watch the ball. You don't have to know the snap count. And the Hoosiers, since I've been there, we've done a great job of communicating in the huddle. While we're on the line of scrimmages, we have signals to let you guys know, hey, we need to audible to this, audible to that. So I feel like Ben Chappell and the receivers, they're going to have to communicate this week. But as a wide receiver, you should never jump off sides. All you have to do is watch the ball.
Now, you talked about Ben Chappell. He's the starting quarterback. He has been good, 3-0, picked up his first career road victory in a start this past weekend at Akron. Talk about his development. He's been very strong the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, Ben Chappell, man, he's become a great leader on his team. I know the guys are really looking up to him. I'm around him in class, in the locker room sometime, and I hear him talk about how great of a leader he is this year. And one thing I have to give credit to is the O-line this year. Ben Chappell has been sacked maybe, once this whole year. They lead the Big Ten in sacks allowed. So you have to really give credit to the Big Ten, and as well as Ben Chappell. He's really been getting rid of the ball quick, which is important. It's like, you know, all great quarterbacks have this clock in their head. They know as soon when the pressure's coming to get rid of the ball. And I feel like Ben Chappell's done a great job of that this year, getting rid of the ball quick.
And he's had a lot of targets this year. Of course, Tandon Doss, Marlo Belcher, Terrence Turner.
Right.
What about Mitchell Evans? This guy plays quarterback. He's on special teams. He'll be running back. He'll play wide receiver as well. He's done everything that this coaching staff has asked of him.
Hey, Mitchell Evans, he's one of those guys where you put him on the field and he's going to go 110%. I know he's been like the special teams player of the week for 3 weeks in a row. So he's definitely one of those guys. You put him in the game, anywhere in the field, and he's going to do his job, whether it's quarterback, receiver, safety. Hey, they may switch to the Wildcat offense like the Dolphins did and put him back there. You never know. But Mitchell Evans is definitely one of those guys where you put him in and he's a trustworthy guy. You know he's going to do his job.
So Indiana's going to mix up the offense, give Mitchell Evans the opportunity to throw the ball, catch the ball, might even be running with the ball. What is Michigan going to bring to the table this weekend?
Michigan's offense, they're a great spread offense. They have an offensive coordinator, Rodriguez, actually, who's been doing this spread offense for many years, so he knows what he's doing with this spread offense. And it's not the normal spread offense you see with Texas Tech as far as wide receivers. They're going to spread some wide receivers out, and they're also going to have a running back back there, and they're going to run the ball. And they have two elusive quarterbacks, young quarterbacks though, but they're elusive who can definitely do the job back there. And the OC from Michigan, he definitely knows how to run this spread offense. So the defense is really going to have to communicate out there. The defensive ends are going to have to get to these quarterbacks, and the inside guys and the linebackers are really going to have to help Middleton and Curlew out with this quarterback.
Michigan averaging 38 points per game. That's best in the Big Ten Conference. But if there's one defense that you'd want to maybe throw up against Michigan, it's going to be Indiana University. You mentioned Middleton and Curlew. They lead the nation in terms of ends with sacks. They're better than any other duo in the nation with 40 sacks in their careers.
Well, really, what you really want to do is the defense really has to focus on the speed on the outside this week. You know, the Michigan wide receivers, they have speed. Like I said, they have two elusive quarterbacks and they have running backs that can run the ball. And the secondary for the IU defense really hasn't been strong as you want to this year. Austin Thomas, you know, had 2 picks last game as far as, you know, that concerns. And Andre LeGrone actually had an interception last game. So last game, the defense really improved, but they're really going to have to come out strong this week if they want to stop this elusive spread offense in Michigan.
Now, I don't want to look past Michigan, but the week after that is a home game against Ohio State. Of course, that's going to be very difficult. But if you look ahead at the rest of the schedule, Virginia's a mess right now on the East Coast. Purdue is a disaster. They just lost at home this weekend in Northern Illinois. Illinois hasn't been all that impressive. Suddenly, Indiana's 3-0, and if you look at the rest of the schedule, it's not hard to say there's actually a chance at 6 wins.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, if the Hoosiers just come out and just play their game, play how they know how to play, and like Coach Lynch always says, just play the next play. You can't worry about what any of your fans are saying, your parents, anybody. You have to just go out there and play your game. And I feel like this Michigan game is really going to be a stepping stone for the Hoosiers to determine what they're going to do the rest of the season. If they're going to be the same old Hoosiers, or if they're going to be the Hoosiers who pretty much shock the world, I guess you can say, and maybe get that 6th, 7th win and go to the bowl game. So the Hoosiers are just going to have to play their game and not worry about what anybody else is saying out there.
All right, Brandon, well, we'll see what happens this weekend. Indiana and Michigan, a noon kickoff. Of course, we'll have complete coverage right here on Hoosier Sports Night.